What's up, YouTube? It's Logan Bricks, and today I'm bringing you a look at LEGO Star Wars 75182, the Republic Fighter Tank. It released in 2017 for $25. Nowadays, you can find it from anywhere from $25 to upwards of $75, somewhere around that price range. So basically at MSRP and just a little bit above, or maybe a little bit overpriced at $75. It contains 305 pieces and is rated 8 to 14, and it was released around the time that the Rogue One Star Wars sets were coming out. So at the time, this set was actually kind of looked down upon as being a set that wasn't really worth it compared to the previous model of Republic Fighter Tank. The previous one, which was during the Clone Wars, I think it was 2009, but I could be wrong, it might be 2008. But essentially that one was much larger, and it looked just as good, but it was a little bit more blocky and less more aerodynamic pieces that it uses now. And people originally kind of thought that it was much better back then. However, lately, this set has actually seen a little bit more growth, I feel like. People are more appreciative of it, and people really like its minifigures. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys my opinion on it, as I think it's actually a pretty decent set all around. Also, if any of you are not subscribed, please go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. But anyway, let's review the minifigures. So the first minifigure we have here is, of course, Aayla Secura, and I believe this is still an exclusive figure from this set. But her previous alteration was during the Clone Wars. I believe it came out in the Clone Wars Turbo Tank or Juggernaut. This is actually a really great minifigure. It still stands up to today as it's pretty much modern printing. As you can see on the torso piece, it looks just like Aayla Secura would. A lot of different printing on the legs. As you guys can see, there's like tassels and some kind, and maybe some sort of pocket or like belt buckle kind of thing. Overall, this does look extremely alike to the actual Aayla Secura from the movies. If you guys go ahead and look back here, we of course see some back printing again on the torso. Again, this looks just like the Clone Wars and movie Aayla Secura. Aayla actually includes an exclusive head mold as well to Aayla Secura. I believe this is still different from the one in the Clone Wars, but it might be the same, and just the face printing has been updated. But the printing and molding of the actual head looks great. Actually kind of reminds me of a Jester, but for a Twi'lek, of course, it will work just fine. She does actually come with an alternative face printing, being this kind of neutral calm face, and then this angrier Aayla Secura face. And then, of course, she comes with her signature blue lightsaber. Next up, we have our Phase 2 clone gunner, and that I still believe is exclusive to this set. This was definitely the first printing of it, if not. But this is a absolutely fantastic figure. They did a very nice job with converting it from its Phase 1 armor to its Phase 2 armor. And as you guys can see there on the torso printing, again, it looks great. We see one of those, like, armor pieces over its shoulder instead of actually giving us like a fabric one, and they printed it on there, which is interesting. And then it has a tie to the back. No leg printing on the back, but of course we have, your standard clone leg printing on the front. And then as far as the head mold or head shape of the helmet, it looks just like a Phase 2 trooper. And then of course we see those brown tannish accents for the clone gunner look. He actually includes one of the long rifles with an extension to it that makes it kind of unique to him, as they kind of do this technique in certain sets, but for Clone Wars sets, or rather like prequel era sets, they don't do that too often. As far as head printing, face printing, it's the standard clone, modern day clone face printing. So that is it for the clone gunner. Next up, the set actually has two B1 battle droids. This is, of course, the same mold, same everything that they've been using for years now, and I think it works perfectly fine. I do not think they should change it. But yeah, this is basically your standard B1 battle droid. I'm sure you guys should know what it looks like. Most people at least have one. Head molding looks great as usual. And yeah, it includes the normal blasters, which is also great as well. And underneath here are those wheels that I was talking about. They actually used a green brick, which is kind of odd. But everything looks basically as you'd expect underneath here, nothing really special. As far as the top, it looks just like the Republic Fighter Tank. They actually went above and beyond with the detail here. There's a variety of stickers on this that are used, including here, 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 and here. And, of course, the little front sticker there, and it makes the turbo tank the turbo tank. Could you imagine this is a turbo tank for 25 bucks? Sorry, the Republic Fighter Tank for kind of come alive with those stickers. I do actually like printed bricks, obviously, much better. I'm pretty sure most people do. But I like the use of the stickers here, as it makes the set look a lot better. As far as the actual playability of it, there are a few play functions that actually work here. Obviously, you can roll it, like I previously said. On here, you actually have two rotatable gun blasters, one here and then one here. And of course, those are stud shooters, so you were able to fire them like so. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people are able to know how a stud shooter works, as they are in every single battle pack. Yay! Anyway, the only other play feature that's actually on the outside is back here, and this is the thing that reminds me of Harry Potter. As an interesting design choice, they chose to use a kind of safe piece. I don't know what it's actually called, but I call it the safe piece because I used to only own one and it was a safe. But inside there's actually additional ammunition for your stud shooters outside, which reminds me of a thing that Harry Potter would do. They typically kind of do that kind of stuff in their older sets. The only other thing that you can do with the fighter tank is, of course, put a minifigure in it. So it has a small cockpit area, including a printed panel piece right there, and of course a small like barricade gate. What are those are called? The barricade piece back over there. You can fit your clone gunner inside of here. You would have to remove his blaster, but you are able to fit him inside of there, like so, as you guys can see. And it has 4 studs there that, of course, clip into the minifigure. Hopefully, it'll end up going. This is kind of an awkward fit as it's very low to the ground, but as you guys can see there, it works perfectly fine. The clear pieces that are there, as you guys can see being here, this is something that the previous model did a lot better, and was something that a lot of people commented on, but you actually can't see the gunner through those clear pieces. I don't know if, yeah, you guys can't. So you actually can't see it, which is kind of annoying, as it's kind of cool to see the clone faces popping out. It's a very classic kind of Star Wars thing. But you can close the panel there, and it will, of course, lay flat, which is very important, as it means that you won't be able to know if the trooper is inside of there as far as the enemy. So on to the actual fighter tank. The fighter tank is, of course, a little bit small, which is part of the reason why a lot of people don't like it, or used to not like it. It's grown on them now. The previous tank was much, much, much larger, while this one is basically going to fit in the palm of your hand, almost. But as you guys can see here, I actually bent one of these, or rather both of them, it looks like. This is because of shelf wear and then some stuff getting stacked on top of it. But it uses 2 of the swashbuckler. I don't even know what those are called. This is bothering me so much. It's a special type of sword, but they use it in fencing. This is actually a very interesting model, as it includes some stuff that's very odd on it that reminds me of Harry Potter to a degree, like old Harry Potter. But as far as the design, it of course has wheels underneath it that allow it to roll like such, or like so. So in order to store his blaster, there's actually 2 clips underneath the main cannons right here. So I didn't actually have these equipped in the beginning, but I will go and show you them now. The set, of course, includes his normal clone blaster that you would be able to equip here. And then on the other side, it actually has another one, and the set includes a wrench. So you're able to put that in there as well. I didn't have the wrench here, as I think it kind of looks bad, but I had it off to the side. So that'll clip in there, and it's kind of like a repair mechanism with your blaster over there, and then it clamps down like that so they don't fall out, and it gives this kind of uniqueness to it, with of course being able to store all the accessories that your minifigures would come with. So that is all for the Republic Fighter Tank set from 2017. I highly do actually recommend this set, as the minifigures are really great, and I have a feeling they will be increasing in price over time. So I wanted to go ahead and make this review now, as it's something that will probably get bought out of the market eventually, and ought to be eventually kind of stocked up. So if you have this set, I'm sure in the future it'll be worth much, much more than it is now. But overall, for my final grading, I'm going to go ahead and give this set an 8 out of 10. I actually do really like the old clone fighter tank, and I wish I owned that set. I think it does look better, but for $25, this is a really fantastic set. If you can find it around the MSRP, it still is worth it today. So that's my opinion with it. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching if any of you guys stayed at the end, and please remember to subscribe and like the video. Peace!